Jain children, welcome back to biology class. Previous class we have completed the portion mitosis. Today we are going to study meiosis. Meiosis is a cell division which occurs in a diploid cell and it gives rise to 4 daughter cells. They are haploid one. That means each one having half the number of chromosomes as compared to parent cell. Suppose parent cell is having 60 number of chromosomes, the daughter cell should contain 8. If parent cell is having 32, the daughter cell should consist of 16 number of chromosomes. So that is a main difference or main speciality of meiosis. The chromosome number becomes half and also we will get 4 daughter cells. But in the case of mitosis we will get only 2 cells. One cell divides into 2 cells. Here one cell divides into 4 cells and the chromosome number becomes half. Meiosis divided into 2 main steps. They are meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Meiosis 1 is again divided into 4 phases. They are prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1. Likewise, meiosis 2 also divided into 4 phases. They are prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2 and telophase 2. Prophase 1 is again divided into 5 substages. They are leptothene, zygotene, pachytene, diplothene and diakinesis. The first stage in prophase 1, that is coming under meiosis 1. Meiosis 1 is divided into 4 phases: prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1 and telophase 1. Prophase 1 consists of 5 substages. They are leptothene, zygotene, pachytene, diplothene and diakinesis. So first stage is leptothene. What is happening during leptothene? Now we can see a cell. This is an animal cell having plasma membrane and there we can see nucleus. Inside there we can see nucleolus. Nuclear membrane is also there and here we can see chromatin reticulum. So usually what is happening during prophase? The complete disappearance of this nuclear membrane and nucleolus and this chromatin reticulum contains to form chromosome. That is happening during prophase. But there we can see in this prophase 1 there we can see some sort of changes. What are the changes that we can examine? Here we can see that this chromatin reticulum, it began to condense to form chromosome. That is happening during leptothene stage. Here we can see the nucleolus and nuclear membrane can be seen in that position, that manner, but the chromatin reticulum that began to condense and they will attain the shape of, it's not fully condensing, they began to condense. So chromatin reticulum began to condense to become chromosome. That is a main event that happens in leptothene stage. Then the second event is zygotene. What is happening during zygotene? So here zygotene is very important one. Here we can see the homologous chromosomes. What are homologous chromosomes? So homologous chromosomes mean when we are observing these organisms, these sexually reproducing organisms, there we can see this meiosis because meiosis is associated with the gamete formation. So it can be seen in sexually reproducing organisms. So when we are observing these organisms chromosomes, the chromosome, half of the chromosome should be coming from its male parent and half of the chromosome should be coming from its female parent. So that sets of chromosomes are called homologous chromosomes. Suppose if this is a animal cell, here we can see 2 chromosomes and this chromosome, suppose if it is coming from its father, the same chromosome, there we can see another same size chromosome that obtaining from the mother. So these are called homologous chromosome. Likewise, when we are observing the next set also, there we can see one set is coming from the mother and the another set is coming from the father. Okay, so these are called homologous chromosomes. So these chromosomes began to pair and that process happens during zygotene and this pairing of homologous chromosome is called synapsis. Synapsis leads to the formation of a complex structure called synaptonymal complex. Then comes the third event in prophase 1, that is pachytene. This is a very important stage. And this here we can see the pairing, and this pairing is called synapses, and the structure is called synaptonymal complex. After this pairing, these chromosomes began to exchange their genetic material. So these chromatids are called sister chromatids. These are called sister chromatid because these chromatids are the part of same chromosomes, and these chromatid and these are called non-sister chromatid. These are called non-sister chromatids. Why these are called non-sister chromatid? Because these two are the part of different two homologous chromosomes. So these two are called, this chromatid and this chromatid is called sister chromatid, and this chromatid and this one is called non-sister chromatids. So what is happening during Pachytene? There we can see in between the non-sister chromatids of the homologous chromosome, there we can see exchange of genetic material. So the genetic material which is present here will move to this side, and the genetic material which is present here will move to here. And this exchange of genetic material between these non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosome is called crossing over. Clear? So crossing over is a characteristic feature in Pachytene stage. So the chromosomes are clearly visible during Pachytene stage, and in between the non-sister chromatids of the two homologous chromosomes, crossing over occurs. Crossing over means the exchange of genetic material between two homologous chromosomes. And the site at which crossing over occurs is called recombination nodule. This site is called recombination nodule. And there is an enzyme which helps for crossing over. The enzyme is recombinase, and crossing over will leads to recombination. So recombination is bringing variation in organisms. The fourth stage in prophase 1 is diplotin. What is happening in diplotin? Here we can see after crossing over is over. So these chromosomes, these homologous chromosomes began to separate. So there we can see the dissolution of synaptonymal complex. So the homologous chromosomes began to separate each other, but the separation is not complete. There we can see a little contact on this recombination nodule region, or where the crossing over takes place. There we can see some association. So the chromosomes began to separate except at the region of crossing over, and that leads to an X-shaped structure. And this X-shaped structure which is formed during the dissolution of this chromatid is called chiasma. Okay, so the X-shaped structure is called chiasmata. So how this structure is formed? So during this diplotin stage, the chromosomes, homologous chromosomes began to separate, but there we can see a little connection is a small connection can be seen at the region of crossing over, and that appears in the form of a structure called X, and that X-shaped structure which is formed during the separation is called chiasmate. The last event in prophase 1 is diakinesis, that is a complete terminalization of chiasmata. The X-shaped structure will completely disappear. That means the chromosome fully separated out, and the chromosomes are fully condensed also. We know that prophase is the phase where the chromosome fully condenses. So this is the last phase of prophase. Diakinesis is the last step in prophase. So after diakinesis, next event, that is metaphase, will occur. So in this phase, diakinesis, the chromosomes are fully condensing. Nucleolus and nuclear membrane completely disappears, and the spindle fiber formation also can be seen, that we know. So these are the main characteristic feature of prophase, isn't it? So that can be seen during this diakinesis phase. Next comes the second event in meiosis 1, that is metaphase 1. Usually metaphase, the chromosomes began to arranged on the equatorial plate. So here also we can see the chromosomes are arranged on the equatorial plate by the action of spindle fibers which is coming from the two opposite poles. So the bivalent chromosomes are arranged on the equatorial plate, and the microtubules, which is coming from the opposite pole of the spindle fibers, attaches these homologous chromosomes. And here we know that the chromosomes are arranged like this one, this fashion. So as a result, the spindle fiber from this pole cannot attack on the chromosome on this side, and the spindle fibers which is coming from this side does not attack on the chromosome that can be seen in the opposite side. So that is a special type of arrangement that can be seen during metaphase 1. So these chromosomes are arranged on the equatorial plate. Then what is happening during anaphase? These spindle fibers will pull the chromosomes of this side towards this pole, and these spindle fibers will pull the chromosomes of this side towards this pole, isn't it? As a result, the chromosomes will move to each poles. Clear. But here at the centromere, the chromosomes are not separating out. The chromatids are not separating out at the centromere. Here the homologous chromosome will start to separate, but the sister chromatids are remaining associated at their centromere. So these are sister chromatids. These sister chromatids are not separating out. They are remain at their centromere. So that is anaphase 1. Then comes telophase 1. So this is just similar to that of our mitosis telophase. Here what will happen during this telophase? Here the chromosomes decondenses to becomes chromatin reticulum, reappearance of nuclear membrane and nucleolus. So that is happening during the telophase 1 also. After telophase, the cell will undergo cytokinesis, that is cell wall formation. So in between these two nucleus, cytoplasm will divide, and that leads to a formation of two cells. And each cell should consist of the chromosome number which is half the chromosome number of the parent cell. Initially we have drawn 4 chromosomes, but now we can see that the chromosome number which is present in this pole is 2, and here also we can see chromosome number is 2. So here the daughter cell consists of only half the chromosome number, but the number of cell is 2. So again these two cells will undergo one more division, that is meiosis 2, which is completely similar to mitosis. So here we can see 2 cells. These 2 cells again undergo one more mitotic division. At that time, total how many cells will form? 4 cells, and the chromosome number will be, in each cell it will be 2. So the number of daughter cells which is produced will be 4, and the chromosome number becomes half. So that is happening during meiosis second. Meiosis second will initiated immediately after cytokinesis. It resembles a normal mitosis. So the first step is prophase 2. So here we can see, starting there we can see 2 cells. So the prophase 2 is similar to that of the prophase in mitosis. What happens? Nucleolus, nuclear membrane began to disappear. Chromatin reticulum condensed to form chromosomes. So that is the main event happening during prophase 2. So this can be seen here. Nuclear membrane nucleolus disappears. Chromatin reticulum condenses to form chromosomes. Formation of spindle fibers. The second event in meiosis second, that is metaphase 2, here the chromosomes are arranged on the equatorial plate by the action of spindle fibers. So here also the chromosomes are arranged on the equatorial plate. The spindle fibers attack. The spindle fibers from opposite poles attack on the same chromosomes. They are arranged on the equatorial plane. As these spindle fibers are attacking, the spindle fibers from opposite poles attacking on the chromosomes, same chromosomes, they began to separate. The chromatids began to separate at the centromere. So here we can see the chromatids will separate at the centromere. Here we can see half of the chromosome will move to this side and half portion will move to here. Here also the division is same. So that is happening during anaphase. Then what will happen during telophase? Thus completely similar to that of mitotic telophase. Here the chromosomes, they will decondense to become chromatin reticulum. Reappearance of nuclear membrane and nucleolus. So here we can see 4 nucleus are formed, and after the end of telophase second, the cytoplasm will divide. Cytokinesis will occur. So as it is a animal cell, there we can see farrow formation is occurs. Cell wall plasma membrane, there we can see a farrow will form, and that farrow will grow and completely it will divide into two cells. And here also a farrow will form, and that farrow will grow and will lead to two cells. So total how many cells? 4 cells are formed, and chromosome number is half. Initially there we can see 4 chromosomes are drawn there, but here we can see how many chromosomes? 2 chromosomes. So total 4 cells are forming, and the chromosome number also becomes half. So that is meiosis.
There are 2 cell division events during meiosis. The first division, meiosis I, results in 2 unique daughter cells that have half the amount of DNA as the parent germline cell. The second division, meiosis II, results in 4 unique haploid cells that only have 1 copy of each chromosome. These haploid cells are the gametes that could go on to produce an offspring through sexual reproduction. Let's look more closely at each of the division events. Meiosis begins with prophase I. In this stage, the DNA condenses to form chromosomes. Here we see the duplicated sister chromatids joined together at the centromere. They stay fused at the centromere throughout meiosis I. Next, each pair of homologous chromosomes undergoes synapsis to form a complex involving 2 pairs of sister chromatids. Chromosomal material is exchanged between the 2 pairs of sister chromatids. This event is called recombination, or more commonly, crossing over. After crossing over, the sister chromatids for each chromosome are no longer identical to one another. This is one of the reasons why no 2 siblings, aside from twins, are genetically identical. There are several more key steps in prophase I. The nuclear membrane begins to break down. Then, the 2 centrosomes migrate to opposite ends of the cell and microtubules appear. The microtubules then attach to the chromosomes. The next phase of meiosis I is called metaphase I. Here, the synapsed chromosomes align at the equator of the cell. The chromosomes align randomly, which results in different combinations each time meiosis occurs. The next phase is anaphase I. During this phase, homologous chromosomes separate and migrate to the 2 poles of the cell. Importantly, the sister chromatids remain attached at their centromeres. The final steps of meiosis I are telophase I and cytokinesis. Here, the cell divides into 2 daughter cells. Each of these 2 cells now undergo meiosis II. Meiosis II is similar to mitosis. The first stage of meiosis II is prophase II. Again, chromosomes condense, the nuclear envelope breaks down, and the spindle apparatus forms. The major difference between prophase II and prophase I is the fact that the daughter cells have only 1 copy of each homologous chromosome. So in prophase II, there is no synapsis of homologous chromosomes or crossing over. In metaphase II, the chromosomes align at the equator of the cell. Again, the alignment is random. Since the sister chromatids are no longer identical, there will be many different possible ways for these chromosomes to align. In anaphase II, the sister chromatids are pulled apart as the microtubules shorten. Also, the ends of the cell are pushed farther apart as microtubules elongate. In telophase II, the nuclear membrane reforms and the cytoplasm is divided into the 2 haploid daughter cells. This division is called cytokinesis. Since meiosis II began with 2 cells, and each of those cells were split into 2 cells, we now have 4 unique haploid cells at the end of meiosis. These cells are gametes. 2 gametes, one from a father and one from a mother, may fuse to produce a diploid embryo. The resulting embryo then grows through many cycles of mitosis.